It's time again for Strange New Worlds, and what's stranger than diesel punk Klingons?
This week on Mission Log Reactor, don't adjust your TV set. It's supposed to be in black and white. And no, we're not watching Spider Noir, even though you may want to. And you know, while we're trapped on this planet, might as well enjoy the outfits.
The reaction will be televised. Hello again, everybody. I'm John Champion.
And I'm Jessica Lynn Verdi. We are back to talk about Strange New Worlds, episode 4, A Case of Chiaroscuro.
You were so close, Chiaroscuro. Again, great with a red wine.
I'm the only one that has to say it in this episode, and it's so unfair. I've never even heard
you
the
just
word.
dub me. You just mouth it, and I'll go, Chiaroscuro.
Well, and I'm Italian. This is very, my ancestors are dying again.
I'm embarrassed for you. Well, we are back, of course, with a brand new episode of Mission Log Reactor, and we are here to give you our first blush takes on the latest Star Trek in real time.
And you can share your thoughts with us. We love to hear them. Do us a favor, give us a like, give us a subscribe, but better yet, join us Mondays after this episode airs for Mission Log Live, where we go live on our Patreon to talk about this episode with you. You get to hear our thoughts now, but we get to hear your thoughts then. John, it's free.
It is free. Enough said. You said the magic word. It's free. 7 o'clock Pacific, 10 Eastern. Patreon.com/missionlog. Just sign up for free. We'll see you then. You click the thing. You join us. We chat. It's great. We'll see you there.
It's a good time.
All right. Now, look, everybody by now should know how it works. We're going to go through the show act by act with each major plot point, and we are going to spoil the hell out of this episode while we give you our first take thoughts. And then we're going to wrap it up with our overall takes. So if you haven't watched yet, what are you doing? Pause now. Go watch Strange New Worlds, A Case of Chiaroscuro, and then get right back here and listen to what we thought about it. Now, I know you're going to have more to say about it, but first, we're going to say a few things, and then you can leave your comments. But here we go. Spoiler warning. This will all be spoiled in 3, 2, 1. Go to it, Jessica.
A covert mission to recover a probe near Klingon space puts the newly minted Commander Una in a tough position. Land on a Klingon-occupied planet and blend in until they're able to safely return to the Enterprise, or assume the role of mob boss in what is clearly a noir spin-off of Strange New Worlds.
Oh, no, wait a second. They could have... do you think they could have done a spinoff? Like do a graphic novel series like Elseworlds? You just have
everyone. I know everyone's like fatigued with multiple universes, but why not?
Yeah. Well, okay. First of all, I thought my TV was broken. I thought there was something wrong. But then the credits came on. I was like, oh, okay, it's supposed to be like that.
I love the idea that we got like the bum watcher, like with screener, like, oh, it's our screener isn't working.
That's what I thought there was something wrong with it. The setup is fine. Federation probe in Klingon territory, absolutely classic. Love Una in charge. This season so far, I think she has just been so great. Love seeing the classic Klingon D7 battle cruiser. Looks fantastic. Okay, but we're on the diesel punk planet, and you've got dirigibles and trains and fedoras. How did these people know how to dress when they left the shuttle? Where did all that come from?
I couldn't agree with you more. And I was like, wait, maybe they were able to scan the planet and figure out but the first thing Yoda says is, what do they look like? Yeah. But they completely figured out pitch perfect costume.
They got it exactly right. And then you walk into it, oh, it's an occupied planet and there's a resistance and it's black and white. And like, I've seen this movie, but that's okay. Maybe there's something different.
The first thing it made me think of is like the gangster episode of TOS. They are just going full TOS
on, full on costume period drama, or
that's 100%
comedy.
But how do we? There's a couple things it asks of us.
Yes,
which is to believe that this is the doppelganger. Like that's very upsetting.
Yeah,
but I can suspend disbelief for the dirigible world.
How much disbelief do you have?
You know, Mbenga is the voice of reason. He almost ends every episode, right? He is almost like the voice of reason. He is like the sage almost always.
With a dark core. I think that's what's interesting about him.
He's seen things.
Yeah, he has.
But he doesn't judge people, and he lets people come to their own conclusions. He's a confidant to Pike, but like you'll just start to notice, like if you rewatch the series, he's usually summing up the black and white of it all, or the gray areas.
Sure.
To have one of the most, even though he's not a Klingon, even though he's not a Vulcan, like logical people, to go, it could happen. Like,
yeah.
I just almost wished it was her long lost twin. That would have been better for some reason.
Interesting. Yeah. It's
just a stretch.
Yeah. All right. Well, speaking of stretches, I mean, we got a long way to go. So take us into Act 1.
On the ship, Lon is afraid the probe has been tampered with, but admittedly, she has been a little paranoid lately. Captain Pike, however, encourages her to probe the probe.
Ooh. Mm-hmm.
Una apparently looks like a woman who enforces the law for the Klingons on Matar. Roman, the man who recognized her, brings them back to HQ, a speakeasy style bar, and they leave Una/Nivette to finish probing an apparent member of the Resistance for information. The rebel gives Una information in the form of a frequency just before she commits Harikari. Or is it Harikari?
Well, Harikari, I loved him calling for the Cubs, but Harikari
that's right.
In this case, sure. Yeah.
Not quite the same thing.
Yeah.
On their way back to the shuttle, Nyota is detained. Una and Mbenga are stopped by the bartender from the cafe, who reveals that he is not only part of the Resistance, Nivette is too.
Not just member, she's the leader of the Resistance.
She's the leader.
Yeah, she's the leader. And of the many things this episode asks us to swallow, just to take it like, yeah, of course, this is how it happens. Not just that they end up there, but she looks exactly like the Resistance leader who's sort of been double agenting, she's got an in with the Klingons. And
I have a question. Why? Una's not dumb.
No.
That's not the question.
No.
When the woman immediately changes her disposition when no one's listening to them, the woman she's supposed to like question.
Yeah.
How did Una not pick up that like there was some substance? There was like this is bigger than her.
Right.
Like I know that like they're getting thrown into the deep end, but like she had to wait until the cafe owner or bartender said, you're the leader.
Yeah.
For her to understand that she was involved with the rebellion in any way, shape, or form.
Sure. Well, I'm maybe not understanding the scope of the rebellion or her exact role. How many people, like, surely there's somebody else who's at the top, not me.
100%. Right? Yeah. She's not only the top of the Klingon food chain for the Matarans or whatever, but she's also the top of the Resistance.
Right. I mean, look, again, this whole time we're asked to just accept these things. It's interesting that you put Mbenga there. He's got a past with the Klingons, so that's fine. And the Klingon armband's, again, very reminiscent of, certain political factions that we've seen before in real life.
So I can't say those are cool looking then, right?
Yeah, exactly. Well, they did sci-fi it up a little bit here, at least.
I mean, the metal of it all.
Of course, yeah.
Yes.
And look, if we're not, well, we are just basically saying Casablanca, so you have to give Uhura the line of all the gin joints just to like drive it home even more.
Again, that's where do you fall on that? Where they're like using such antiquated.
Well,
do you think that lives on for 300 years?
Sure, a great movie is a great movie, and I love Casablanca now. Well, the context for me is different than somebody watching it in 1942, but it is still just an all-time great movie. But do I need to see it remade like this? I don't know. Anyway,
that I can understand. I hear what you're saying. I didn't. Yeah, I get it.
I like Mbenga as a bit of a mentor to Uhura because, of course, he has seen some stuff. She has not, presumably, as much. And introducing our Klingon commander here, it is Commander Kor, who originated in TOS, the original Klingon played by John Colicos in Errand of Mercy. But this one is different, and I kept asking myself, why make him Kor then? And maybe save that thought for my final thoughts.
Okay, I'm interested to hear more about that because it has been a minute since I've seen TOS. But it's
Sure.
cool that they're like member burying that. But
Yeah.
again, if it's different, that's strange.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing else to talk about too much in this area.
Yeah, I mean, I did wonder why Mbenga would know specifically how the toxin on another planet behaves, because he just says it like, oh, yeah, it's a toxin from this plant. Like, how do you just got here? How do you?
He knows so much. He's like, I mean, what I did buy was that he knew the frequency, the sound that the Klingons couldn't hear was
Sure.
like the beacon. I love that. I guess because he's the doctor, I didn't bat an eyelash at that. But now that you're saying it, it's a little.
You are on an alien world.
Every act you get one.
Yeah.
You get one like, I know this thing.
Right. I do like the bartender. I liked introducing him, and I like him as a character through the story. But let's move into Act 2 and see what we can make of it. Okay.
Nyota struggles through her interrogation and is threatened with a mind probe. Back at the cafe, the bartender is disappointed that Nivette, Una, couldn't infiltrate a Klingon munitions facility, but says he is working on getting Nyota released. La'an sweet talks her way into learning that there is some signal coming from the probe, and the call is coming from inside the ship. But it's Scotty who's figured out a cool way to determine where the D7 is. But there's still something else there, but it's probably nothing. Nyota does her best up against the mind scanner while Una finds Nivette's plans for the resistance, her ID card, and a dead Nivette.
Oh, that Nivette, the dead Nivette, of course.
The dead Nivette.
Yes, yeah, that one.
Who also looked as though she was bleeding from the mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Like or foaming from the mouth like the rebel Harikari lady.
Yeah. Took that but tried to save herself in the cryotube. And I just thought, hey, doctor, could you revive her potentially if she's frozen? Could you use something to counteract? I guess you don't have your med kit with you.
I guess that's also fair. I guess I was confused. Like, if she's dead, what is the point of cryogenically freezing herself?
Well, maybe it was like right before she died, or maybe she gave orders like, hey, if I die, freeze me. And maybe some advanced doctor from a starship will find me one day.
I can still resist from the ice grave.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I do really like Core chewing scenery in the interrogation scene. I think he's great. I think he's wonderful.
He really made the most out of this guest star role.
Oh,
really
just absolutely savoring every word.
Quite literally when he licks his lips later in Act 3.
Yes. Let's see. We get our surly Vulcan back. And then La'an trying to bring everybody into her conspiracy mongering is interesting. Clever to have this like Ortegas and Scotty collaboration after they had their kind of dust ups before. And I love a good Cuban sandwich. So glad to hear them talk about that.
I love that he loves mustard.
Yeah, look, I mean, who doesn't,
Unabashedly loves but yeah, it was like a good full circle to be like, oh, what they went through isn't just that learning moment on the planet. They understand each other and they like each other.
Exactly. Now, for an episode where we have a lot of conveniences happening, I do feel like we're asked to swallow even more here because we have our characters just stumbling into the right information. They get to the office. Oh, look, there's the chip. There's the identification card. Oh, look, there's Nivette's corpse. And apparently we can just read the alien language here on this planet. And there's a line, look, y'all can debate me if you want. There's this line where Una picks up this computer and goes like, it's a fully operational database. And I'm like, what is that? It's just data. That's what it is. Like, if data exists, that is operational. So
it's operational. All you need to say is this has everything. We could this.
Yes. Look, it's all the information about the resistance. Yeah. Okay. There we go.
It works. I think I don't really love backwards mysteries like this where we're trying to fill in the pieces. And so I understand that they had to get the pieces somewhat easily. If this was an hour long, an 80-minute movie, maybe you can like tease things out a little bit.
Sure.
And I know you understand that.
Yeah.
But I still struggled with what we didn't know.
Yeah. Oh, no, exactly. Exactly. There's a
I
lot we
still
don't
found
know.
those parts confusing, even though they
Right.
walked on her body that they
Right.
shouldn't have found there
Right.
in any way, shape, or
But
form.
we do know that Matar 12 looked a lot like Fritz Lang's Metropolis
Just
before
give
the
me
Klingon
those,
invasion. Yeah.
electric fingers, man. I'm
Yeah.
all about it.
Exactly. All right.
It does look pretty cool.
Let's go to Act 3.
Una and Mbenga put together that the Resistance's plan is to emit an EMP against Klingon tech, and Nivette was on a quest to get it. Nyota is finally freed and has info about the Klingons' plan to fully take over Matar within 24 hours with a proximity wall that destroys any ship leaving or coming to Matar. They have 24 hours to act. Mbenga suggests that it's time to get off the planet, but Una is intent on seeing the Resistance's plan through. On the ship, Spock does not believe La'an's hunch about an additional signal from the probe, which prompts her to seek a medical evaluation. Una infiltrates the munitions depot and retrieves the detonator for the EMP. Before she's able to escape the facility, she's found by Roman, who confesses to killing the original Nivette and plans to do the same to Una. Did you see that coming a mile away?
Weasley guy, yes, because somebody had to be that guy. And he's the first one.
I thought it was the cafe guy. I thought it was the bartender.
Oh no, I think he was too good. I just thought,
I know.
no, you got to have a nice guy in there. Yeah, but Roman, ugh, yeah,
We hate Roman.
little Weasley guy. No, played well, definitely done.
No,
well.
it's great. That's
Yeah.
like, I don't know if you're into House of the Dragon, but there is a character, Sir Christian Cole, who starts off so likable and then has become the most hated. People hate him in real life because he's
oh my
turned
gosh.
us. I know his character is vile and Weasley, absolutely. So
Oh, there you go. Now,
he did a great job.
In all the places we have to recreate a scene from Casablanca, we do it here, where we recreate the scene in Casablanca where the French resistance sing La Marseillaise in Rick's Cafe. So in this case, we have this, the Matara national anthem, whatever it is. Fine. Okay, we're just going there. We're just fully
It
bought
seems
in.
strange to me and out of nowhere, but
But we're just bought into the whole pretense here at this point. I do like that Mbenga and Una have a conversation where he says basically, this is not your fight. Like, not only do you not have to do this, maybe you probably shouldn't do this. I think we do that.
He's usually the word, like, he's not going to ever tell anyone outright what to do. He's also not the commander here in this position, but he's not wrong. Like, she's letting emotion lead her choices here.
Yeah. Well, speaking of emotion leading choices, you also have La'an, whose paranoia is off the charts. And then Spock has to say, like, your evidence does not support the hypothesis. Like, you need to do that. You need to follow the evidence, not just your hunch. Yeah.
I think she undercuts herself, which is something we can do as humans, where she's like, it's probably nothing. I have been paranoid. And so, of course, he's going to say you've been paranoid later on in the episode. But I'm wondering, I don't think it's responsible of Spock to not let her follow through this very weird, aberrant thing. But second of all, I think their situationship is kind of close to over. I think it's...
Interesting.
They're not happy with each other right now.
No, I don't think so. I do like, again, just all credit to the actor playing Kor. I think he does a really nice job. That scene with Una is great. And I like seeing Una kind of a step ahead, trying to figure things out while he thinks that he has the upper hand. Really good stuff. And he has got a great line here. Fate was cruel, not making you a Klingon.
He was definitely attracted to her in that moment.
Hey,
and like,
yeah.
Even though he's not, we learn that he's not so sure that whether she's a double agent or not. But like, I mean, the licking of the lips is a whole thing. It's a whole thing.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
All right, let's wrap it up with Act 4.
Una gives Roman a chance to redeem himself, which he doesn't take. But thankfully, she plants the detonator on him, which goes off when he goes through the checkpoint to report on Una. Chapel admits that she is responsible for the additional signal while La'an is getting her medical checkup. She is protecting a medical ship that crossed into Klingon territory, and the probe picked up that information. Chapel asks La'an to keep the information hidden to keep the medical ship safe from punishment. Una leaves the bartender in charge of the resistance. They take the shuttle and leave that damn planet, just as many other ships are able to leave while the Klingon tech is disabled. La'an decides to look paranoid rather than report on Chapel's tampering, and Una wrestles with the ethical implications of her decision.
Well, I'm glad somebody is wrestling with the moral implications here. First of all, I love seeing Una take down that twerp Roman. That was
He totally deserved it.
something very satisfying about that.
You really hate it? Were you bullied by a Roman?
It seems like it, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'm concerned for your well-being.
Yeah. Thank you for that concern. Okay, we have yet another situation where there is a lie that needs to be protected and not reported upon. I think
God, this is the literal third time in the season, right?
I think we're relying on that a bit too much here. You know?
I have a feeling that it will come to light, this particular thing, because Pike seems to know the way he's like, if when something does come up, I'm here, you know? So in some ways I'm okay with that if she's wrestling with the decision now, but it will come to light later in the season. But it's happening, you're right, as this denouement way too much.
Yeah. It's just, it's overplayed a bit. Yeah. What I do like here, I like Una actually wrestling with her decisions and asking herself if she did the right thing. And again, very much to your point, there's Mbenga saying hey, you get to be the one to wrestle with this,
He gave her the opportunity in the previous act to consider the choices. She didn't consider it for a second. She was all in. And then she's got this, what did he say? Savior's regret. It's not survivor's guilt, but you can't do everything. You can maybe make a difference right now, but you're still not going to change the situation with the Klingons eventually.
Yeah.
It's just interesting for her to doubt herself after the action's already done.
Well, right. Of course. Yeah. But we know it's all going to be fine because then you fade to color in Una's reflection in the window, just like Pleasantville. We have to end like that.
I was too young to know what the implications were of the tree catching on fire. But the impression of it is still very, very strong.
Great movie. Okay, overall reaction. Your overall thoughts for this one?
Fine. It was fine. I thought it was fun in some ways. It was fine. I found some of it confusing, some of it frustrating, but visually kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
What about you?
To me, it's style over substance. I like the style, but I wish that the style had been a Gold Key comic or a graphic novel. I feel like, again, when we keep doing style experiments in a short season like this, you only get one. So, just
might as well go for full bore.
Yeah. Don't take a tenth of my season and go we just really felt like doing black and white this week. And we all love Casablanca and we know that you do too. I do, but is there going to be something else there for me to chew on?
What would you have what would have helped it be more chewy?
Oh, I wish that there was some impact. There's a bigger story being told here about all of our characters. And again, Pike is just practically MIA in this episode. I just found it all to be a distraction.
I can totally see that.
Yeah. I couldn't tell that it was really leading somewhere. Again, I think Una has been great in these 4 episodes so far. I feel like we've gotten strong stuff out of her, but am I really going to remember this and go oh yeah, that's the definitive episode for her? No, that's Ad Astra.
I was going to say it was when she was singing.
Oh, well, that's great. But Ad Astra, per Aspera is her episode that did so much. And this is she had to struggle with command a bit. Okay, she made a weird decision, but it was also a super weird planet. Everything was black and white. So
They're trying to do this episodic thing a little too much. I can see the argument against the episodic nature of the streaming series. What was a standout moment for you, John?
I mean, I think there are a number of moments that are on equal footing. I think Kor here is the MVP, him interrogating Uhura, and then Uhura kind of putting Kor in his place. This little meeting of the minds here I thought was great. Roman getting killed. Great. Wow. And again, like stylistically, the episode, it's got a lot of style. You know what? I'll save it.
You got your soapbox.
Yeah,
I will say what I loved, and I think it's applicable to this and life. What Mbenga says to Uhura is, "Don't give them a reason to think that you don't belong here."
Ooh,
and
yeah.
I just love that, and it's sort of like the fake it till you make it, but also like you just don't need to offer more information. And
yeah.
I that's just true for life. And as someone who is an critical oversharer, it's nice to be reminded of that. And it's a really good situation. Menga's like totally in control. This is like his world for sure. And I enjoyed him in this episode.
Going forward, I mean, I have to ask myself if all these style experiments will actually serve the story.
I'm telling you, Pike is passed out.
Okay.
And in a fever dream.
We're just going to find him in a bathtub with a glass of whiskey. Right?
He's still with Dave Foley.
Yeah, right.
That is incredible. No, I'm with you. I feel like we're getting pieces, and I think there will be some sort of bow that it gets wrapped up in, but like, are you concerned it won't be well earned?
Look, that's what Lower Decks was always really good at and always really surprised me. You get to the end of the season, you go, oh, wow, there was this huge connective arc there. I'm not really sold on that yet with this, but we will see.
It's not like we've seen it in the seasons before also. And they don't have Mike McMahon. John, are you ready for your soapbox?
I think I'm ready. I got some thoughts. Thank you for passing that over. All right. One of the things that has been nagging me ever since Martin Quinn joined the cast as Scotty is, here's the thing. Overall, I really like him. He is charming. He is funny. Great accent. I absolutely got that sparkle that James Doohan brought to the role. But why is he so different from the Scotty that we know? Think about this. Okay, in the original series, Scotty was one of the grown-ups. He was older than Kirk, or at least he kind of carried himself that way, and he's more or less on equal footing with McCoy. But here, he's the same age as everyone else. He's like a 22-year-old kid, and he's in this finding himself mode, and that is a valid character to have, but where's the bridge between that guy and the Scotty that we will eventually meet? Because he feels very much like Kirk's Jr. here, and that's kind of strange. Okay, but right. Okay, but likewise, why bring in Kor? And again, Damore Barnes, the actor, wonderful. Holy cow, he chews that scenery exactly the way that great Star Trek Klingons do. But why is he Kor? So if you're going to bring in and use one of the iconic Klingons from the original series, I want that to tell me something new that maybe enriches the John Colicos character, Kor, who we got to know, starting way back with Errand of Mercy. Otherwise, he could just be another Klingon commander, and the story plays exactly the same. Which brings me to the episode as a whole. So again, I said I love the style, love the aesthetic. I love classic wartime cinema. Casablanca is a favorite. And this episode nails the atmosphere. Black and white photography, occupied city, resistance, all looks great. Problem is, I never became invested in the people of Matar 12, and that's where the episode loses me. So last week, Strange New Worlds borrowed heavily from Shore Leave and The Naked Time, but those stories ultimately deepened our understanding of the crew. And this week feels more like Voyager's The Killing Game, except in that case, we already knew the characters, we knew the villains, we knew the stakes, and here we're trying to absorb this entirely new world, a political conflict, a resistance that needs exposition. It's so much more exposition in a place that we just landed on.
And that we will never go back to.
Never see again. I'd put money on that.
Me too. I would.
Yeah. So when I've criticized Strange New Worlds in the past for leaning into style experiment, this is what I mean. Style is impeccable. The performances are strong. The production is gorgeous. But I'm still asking the same question, which is why this story? Not why this style? Because this story for these characters at this moment in the season, I'm not putting those pieces together. Because if the style serves the characters, then sign me up. If the characters end up serving the style, then I'm starting to lose interest. So look, experimentation is great. Genre hopping is great. Star Trek has always done that. Don't tell me that it hasn't. But the experiment has to illuminate the characters and not just showcase the filmmaker's affection for a particular genre.
I think you're exactly right. And now that's making me wonder, what's the genre going to be next week?
Yeah, see? All right, leave us your comments. You know what to do. We want to hear from you. Maybe you're enjoying this genre hopping more than I am, folks. It's not that I don't love a good style. It's not that I don't love the artistry. But again, why? It's always the why in the back of my head.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'd posit this and think about it, maybe soapbox about it next week. Did we get whys often in TOS? So just want you to think about that.
Okay. All right. I'll mull that over.
I'm not saying this was the best episode ever, just something to think about. Anyway, that is all from Mission Log Reactor this week. Thank you so much for joining me, John.
Hey, thank you for joining me, Jessica. And all of you, join us live on Patreon. Again, it's free, patreon.com/missionlog, because we will be chatting live Monday night, 7 Pacific, 10 Eastern, and we will be back next week reacting to the next episode of Strange New Worlds. Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.